Hi guys. How is everyone? Can all hear me? Let me know if you can hear me, see me. How is everyone? That was crazy. Meredith's live was amazing. I'm sure she'll do one for members too in case anyone didn't get their question answered. Let me know if you guys can hear me, see me. Because I know there's like a little delay. But we are here. Hello. Hi, Corey. Hi, Shauna. Hi. Alan, it's not like 5 o'clock in the morning for you. Annika, hi. Great. So I see some people have written down there, this is a reading for Aries or Aries sun, moon, rising, and also if you have a first house stellium and also like Aries north node. And then I do Aries Venus. So, but then I'm going to do Leo right after this, and I'm going to do Sag after that. Now, when I do Sagittarius, because it'll be my last for the day, often my last one for the day, what I do is do free mini reads. So each reading is about 20 minutes. This is not going to go like 2 hours. What time is it? 3 o'clock. 3:30. Meredith's thing almost went 3 hours. So, we're not, each one is like 20, 30 minutes. So when we get to Sagittarius at the end of that one, I'm probably going to do free reads, little mini reads. I did that for Capricorn the other night. But I'm happy you're all here. We have good energy over here and we have fun. Alien will tell ya. Actually, Corey was there from my Capricorn reading Friday night and got a free mini read. And we did some clearing for Corey. It continued to clear far longer after his reading. Yes. Okay, so what I do in these readings is I am looking at the energy of, all of a sudden I'm starving. I didn't realize I was doing that for like 3 hours. That was crazy. I look at the energy of, let's not push our computer off the table, but I definitely want to get a little further back to make room for the cards. We're going to look at the energy of what, hey Karen, I was trying to think of who it was that I was like, I know that there's somebody that has shared so many of my same placements. So I'm an Aries moon too, for those of you that are new. Almost what I lead with. Probably my Gemini Mercury more than my Aries moon. But both of those way more than my Cancer sun, honestly. Hi, Alexa. I'm so sorry. There's no way. I was literally running 3 different things because I had to be messaging her. I'm trying to like find old chats. And for anyone who doesn't know, when you have that much activity in the chat, everything disappears. Like YouTube has everything like on a timer. So when the things were coming in that fast, I couldn't even go back to grab people's information. I mean, good luck finding it if I could. So I'm going to look at the energies that were just around you, like last week, the month before, your recent past energies. Then I'm going to be looking at the energies, your current energies, and what's coming up. We're going to draw an oracle card. Now, the readings are what they are. And hi replay viewers, I appreciate you guys too. If the reading for some reason doesn't have any kind of like love story to it, I always pull extra cards for people who are here looking for love answers. I will always pull extra cards to make sure that we like attend to that. But I like the readings to come in pure. I don't try to steer them one way or another. I know that like love sells better on YouTube, but then we're gonna do clarification of these cards. So it's a little different than what I do on Soul Navigation on Friday nights. Wow. So, and the other thing is that I look at one spot. I have, it's like 9 cards. So the first row is recent past. The second row is current. The last row will be upcoming. But also the first row going down is your energy. There we go. And the row in the middle is the shared energy around you. So how your energy is blending with others. And then the last row going down is, oh, that's good, is going to be of other. Other can be a partner. Other can be your job. Other can be your home situation. Woof. And the overall reading, the overall energy for this reading is going to be the 7 of Swords. And on that note, we're going to light some clearing stuff. Yeah, I don't love that. I don't love that. Hold on. Woo! Woo! All right. Yeah, so I'm just going to ask clear. We are not accepting any stink energy. I'm going to... There we go. Hey. This thing is driving me crazy. We're going to get some... I don't do white sage, so this is a rosemary bundle going, and I'm gonna light a throat chakra candle because holy cow. I also like doing the individual reads because, can you tell I need a new one? It's like one of those things that I always forget when I'm actually doing like my shopping list or when I'm, you know, getting stuff, is the damn candle lighter. So when I'm doing Soul Navigation, I have to get through 12 reads. It usually goes kind of long. I don't feel like I can like also do like Reiki and all the other things. So we're going to just take a second. Also cleared any of the harried energy from the last live. Okay. Is it true that tarot cards are supposed to be gifted? That's baloney. It drives me crazy when I see that. That is not true. Because the other thing is that like I've had cards gifted to me and that's great. But I've also had cards gifted to me that I could not connect with that deck. I have decks I don't use as much as the other ones because I feel less connected with it. Like you're going to want to get tarot decks that you feel connected to and that you feel also like drawn to, because there are cards that like everybody loves and uses I don't feel drawn to, and like one of them is the romance deck. Like it literally took months before you know, I'm gonna do videos on like the things about like how your guides respond when you ask for help, how angels respond, what guardian angels actually, like how they function, because it's not, I don't think, also angels look like one-eyed weirdo monsters. They do not look like cherub babies. They have never had a human experience, so they're probably not gonna interfere the way that you would expect them to, because they don't understand like 3D human emotions like guilt and whatnot. And like archangels, if you really want help, call on archangels, because that's their job description, is to help us crazy humans. I sing words once in a while, but you know, you'll get used to it. Okay, so let's get into this reading. In your energy, in the recent past, so maybe like the last couple of weeks or last month, we have the Emperor in reverse. The Emperor is your card. I would kill to find a Starman deck. Sorry, distracted. Now, the Emperor in reverse can be one of two things. The Emperor is the CEO of the tarot. He's sorry, I have something in my lash. He has a lot of power. When I see the Emperor card in reverse, that can also mean like an ego death. So if in the last couple of weeks you've been going through something where you feel like you've had an ego death, and you'll know because an ego death takes a while. It'll feel like almost everything is hurting your feelings, or everything is like not going your way. And you may see yourself reflected through exchanges with other people, or you may find yourself getting annoyed at other people and then having all of a sudden the epiphany that the very thing that you might be getting annoyed with them about is something that you also participate in, and you'll be like, oh, maybe I don't do that anymore. Like you can hear what'll often happen towards middle to end of the ego death is that you will start to say something to someone or about someone, and as the words are leaving your mouth and you hear them, you think, oh yeah, I do that. Now, for parents, that can happen a lot when we have that moment of like, I will never say that, I will never make that, or, you know, comment to my child, or I don't want them to feel that way. And then all of a sudden we find ourselves literally doing the thing, right? And hopefully we have the awareness and we hear the words coming out of our mouth. But an ego death does not mean you're a terrible, horrible person that just is self-centered and does everything for your ego. It means that there's something waiting for you that's so aligned for you that any kind of obstacle that you couldn't see before, in any way that you're getting in your own way, through pride, through protection. Often ego death is necessary when we've been very protective of, we've worked hard to get to a certain place, or ego deaths also happen like, Aries don't like to be wrong. Virgos don't like to be wrong. Capricorns don't like, nobody loves to be wrong. But those signs especially are a little stubborn about it. So it's not shocking that there may be an ego death involved. This could also be, for some of you, just feeling so out of sorts and so not like yourself, and to not have the same impetus, to not have that Mars energy, to not have that normal fire in your belly that Aries can have. In your shared energy, there's a want to start something new and stable. I used, damn nails, can't pick up the cards. I used the good old-fashioned Rider-Waite today for Aries. That's what I felt called to do. There's an opportunity, or there was an opportunity to start something new and stable. In your other's energy in the recent past is a wanting to be done with a long time carried burden. There's something they're having a little problem letting go of. At least a couple of weeks ago, there was something that they held an attachment to, or there was something in your environment, because other is really environment. If your environment is really based off of another person that's your partner, then that's other. If your environment is really based off a family situation or a work situation, then that's your other. The environment around you, there's been something going on and a burden needs to be laid down. It wasn't quite there yet a couple of weeks ago. Let's look into the current energies. This I love. The current energies is the King of Wands. Like reigniting your passion again. Yeah. Reigniting your passion again. Like feeling creative again. See, that's the perfect thing about like an ego death. Doesn't mean you're walking around with your tail between your legs. An ego death can allow that like creativity, that like feeling authentically in yourself without feeling like you have to prove it to anyone, without feeling like you have to be right, like just settled in who you are. And who you are with Aries moon rising, right? Or sun, obviously. Is going to be somebody who's going to be full of passion and courage. I feel like we can be more like that when we don't have ego tripping us up. And again, your ego, your identity, those things are not terrible. It's not. Vanity is attached to like the more negative side of how ego can get in our way. And vanity doesn't just apply to aesthetics, but feeling this passionate, like kind of reinvigoration for life and possibly towards somebody. Now, in the shared energy, there's current inner child healing, probably having a lot to do with family. And for some of you, there may be somebody you guys have a connection through childhood, high school, middle school, that kind of thing. That's what I'm feeling. This is soulmate energy. It feels really genuine. It feels like this shared energy is from two people that understood each other before life got complicated. This is two people that knew each other before life got a hold of them. and it feels really, really, it feels sweet. But it also feels like there's been a lot of things in the way in between that. In their energy, this is such a beautiful progression. This is because tarot's a story, right? And because the way I have the layout with the cards going in 3 rows, right? This way and that way. It tells 2 different stories at the same time, basically, or 3. This was something that needed to be put down, but there was a little fear involved about putting down this burden. One of the reasons we can like put off healing or put off dealing with something is we know we're already tired, right? Like who isn't tired right now? We've had a pandemic for 2 years. There's so much going on. And we're adulting in a world that seems to be continually more challenging. Financially and in all other ways. We're already tired. So knowingly taking on something, even though it's a burden and you know you should let it go, you know the letting go part involves possibly pain. It involves maybe hurting somebody else's feelings. It involves what feels like drama. That's beautiful, Alan. And so we have this in the shared energy, which means they laid this down. And now they're just, you have to feel all your feelings. You can't skip steps, right? So all right, I'm just going to say it. This feels like whoever your person is, Aries, and I have my full physical confirmation right now. Whoever your person is, whatever they wanted, wow, whatever they wanted to let go to get back to this, I think you reminded them of who they are without all the bullshit. I think you reminded you reminded them of who they like being. I think you reminded them of how it feels to just be their most authentic self. And currently they're letting go and just feel if they've gotten a little quiet, for some of you, this person may have gotten a little quiet. It's because they really have to fully let go. It feels like, hi CM. It feels like, oof. Okay, so I want to say storyline because I'm so used to Tyler, and that's how I love Tyler. But like for some of you, this may have been an inopportune connection that you didn't try to have, but you had with somebody. And there was something else they still had to let go to be free for you. But this is also for your person, whatever it is they had to let go, they tried to let go before and didn't fully go through it. Like I always say, when you get mad and block somebody, it's very different than when you block somebody for your peace. When you block somebody out of ultimatum, when you block somebody out of, I'm going to try this now, those are all very different and can be temporary, whether you block them from your heart, whether you block them on social media. But when you block somebody for your peace, that's usually the only time it's permanent. And to get peace, you have to go through it. And when I say it, I mean all the feelings. You can't skip them. So this heartache that they're experiencing it feels necessary for them to be, I want to say, free, to get back, because this kind of, when I said this felt sweet and that this involves childhood healing, this kind of connection isn't gonna really, I mean, no connection can really, unless you're in a polyamorous and everyone's on the same page, no connection does really well when there's like a third party or there's a lingering third party. Sometimes the third party isn't in full union, but it's lingering. There hasn't been closure. This is closure. This reading, I lay out the cards and I'm like, this doesn't look like anything crazy. And then I get into it and I'm like, oh yeah, it's crazy. What's coming up, and don't get nervous, but what's coming up in your energy is the Tower averted. Now, there's two ways the Tower in reverse can go. One, you're already at the end of it. The Tower already happened and it's at the end of it. The other way is obviously that you're avoiding a tower moment. You're avoiding a tower moment, which I don't always love. I feel like you have to let, I see Cash, you have to let stuff happen, whether it's for you or for somebody else. And I apologize if you've been following aliens, probably like, I heard you say this 1,000 times, Susie. When you try to help somebody, right? And the thing is, like, you don't want to let them hit rock bottom. So they're falling and you keep doing this. You're keeping them from whatever they need to experience. It's a very loving, albeit, unintentional enabling. And we can do that to ourselves. When we try to keep the Tower moment from happening, the thing is like, yeah, that looks terrible, right? But when the Tower clears, you can see clearly this is something in your way. Let me make sure we understand this. The Tower card, the Tower itself is what is in your way. You actually want it to come crumbling down. Now, if you can not have unhealthy attachments, not hold on to things, then it doesn't have to maybe be such a big Tower moment. But a Tower moment comes to move things out of our way that we have been too kind, too tired, or too unaware to move ourselves. So the more of this you can move yourself, the less but when it's upside down, it's like a resistance to letting the Tower come down. Now, the last thing that a Tower in reverse can be is quite literally you manage to get out of. You manage to avert the Tower moment. That might be what's happening. We're going to clarify all of this. This is a full reading. These aren't quickies like I do on Friday night. Although the quickies aren't bad. I said what I said. In the shared energy, we have the Eight of Cups. I want to clarify that because I don't know if the shared energy is... It feels like... it feels like at the point that they weren't laying down the burden, at the point that they weren't giving closure, at the point that they may have gotten quiet, it may felt to both of you, hi Keto, it may have felt, and hi Fox, it may have felt like to both of you that the best thing was to walk away. Even though that there's still love there, and even though that there's still deep connection there, it may have felt like the best thing is to walk away. I think walking away is not going to happen. I think that their closure is going to take time, but to give whatever this is, like some serious legs, it's necessary. And so is patience. But here's what I love, right? Now, if I think you think the Tower moment is this can't happen, and it feels like such a deep connection. If I saw the Ten of Wands in reverse, and then the Three of Swords in the upright, and then I saw something else in their energy upcoming, I would be a little concerned for you, Aries. But what I'm seeing is the Queen of Swords. This is somebody who is lovingly in their truth. This is a truthful person. This is an honest person. This is a person who says, this is Aries. Like Aries energy, even though this is your other, you could be with a Leo, but they have an Aries moon or an Aries Mercury. This is somebody who has found that like leading in their authenticity is what feels more peaceful. I don't think that they just recently came from a peaceful. I think they've got a great energy, but I think their environment probably had... All right, let's just say this. I don't think you have to be in a terrible, horrible, abusive relationship to also be in a relationship that's just run its course. People grow apart, and it feels like whatever relationship they were in, there was that growing apart. Growing apart, but like nothing catastrophic where either felt like they could say this is a good enough reason to break this up. So kind of, and so many people do this, but just kind of like living, knowing that like, they've outgrown each other, but not really changing the situation. And I'm trying to say this carefully, and I'm saying it slowly and choosing my words. which by the way, replay reviewers, I'm a slow talker because stuff comes in. So if you want to speed me up to like 1.25 or even 1.5, I find that you can hear me clearly. Fine, it doesn't even sound sped up. Because I like to take my time and be really careful with any messages that I'm giving, because I take the integrity of this connection seriously. I don't want to advocate for people to like cause anyone else pain, but we're also here to experience joy, to satiate our soul, and to live as, you know, the life that made this trip around feel like, you know, we took a bite out of it. And so they could have been someplace where there wasn't really happy anymore, but there wasn't really miserable either, if that makes sense. So it's like when there's, you know, when it's not Johnny Depp, Amber Heard level of so unhealthy, sometimes people don't feel like there's enough, like, okay, a lot of times people don't feel like their happiness and the satiation of their soul is enough to move out of a situation that is no longer happy. Right? That's kind of the ugly truth. The quiet, innocuous, unfortunate truth of how a lot of people live their lives. And so when you don't deem yourself worthy enough of your own happiness, it takes some people something really uncomfortable for them to move and change. And so if nothing is so uncomfortable, they acclimate. It's easy to acclimate to a small level of uncomfortable, to a small level of unhappy. And then somebody will come along. I have said this 20, 30 years. Before I was doing this full time, 20, 30 years, I have said, settling is no good, because what happens is if you try to stay in existence that's no longer serving either person, someone will come along. Universe will drop someone along in front of you, and they will curl your motherfucking toes. They will light you up. They will make you remember who you are. And now what? And now no matter what you do, when you leave that situation, you're the bad guy. And you've made another person a bad guy because, you know, there's that connection. So staying where you're, and I'm feeling so much of all of that in this reading. But this person now wants to live truthfully and authentically. It's coming up. Let's clarify. I think this is the longest that I've ever gone before I started clarifying in one of these readings on my channel, because this is deep. You know, sometimes it doesn't look as deep as it is, and it is. I'm hungry. For anybody who was here Friday night, I finally got my fried chicken last night. We're going to clarify. You know, I don't want to use another Rider-Waite, because we want the artwork to also intercede in the story. Let me move my books around. My daughter made Swedish apple pie, and it's all I can smell, and now I want some. We're making garlic confit today. Thai lettuce wraps. Sunday is cooking day and prep day. I'm so grateful that I grew up in New York, and I'm so grateful that my own family was a melting pot. A Puerto Rican aunt, a Nabaladan aunt, a Sicilian uncle. Like, there's so much different kind of food. My best friends were always, nobody was like full on white. So all the households had different cultures and different food. So super lucky, super talkative, curious, and got to, you know, be in a lot of kitchens. I think I was making authentic enchiladas at 11. Yeah, what else is everybody having for dinner tonight? Let's clarify. I even make some Jamaican jerk chicken. Probably not nearly as good as it should be, but we like to cook. I was a poor single mom for a lot of years, but I could take my kids to Japan. We could sit on the floor, dress up, and I could make Japanese food. We could go anywhere we wanted, right in our own home, as long as I created that. So we did a lot of that. Okay, so clarification. This is interesting. So we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse for that past week. I don't like to clarify every card in that past energy because I just don't want... You want Swedish apple pie? It's so good. I should share the recipe on the page. When I get to 1,000 viewers, I can put posts. I don't know why, but they make you have 1,000 subscribers before you can like post things. I'll post recipes. If I talk about food and you guys want the recipes, I'll post them. So we have, this is the tarot of the night goddess. Isn't she gorgeous? So this is chance, but it's the Wheel of Fortune in reverse for that first recent past energy for everyone. When the Wheel of Fortune is on the table, I don't kind of care if it's upside down or right side up. I don't care if it's in reverse or not, because the thing about the wheel is that we have the power. It's our free will that turns it. And so it may have felt like something was there, but out of your grasp. And I can see the progression in that. I don't want to spend a lot of time in the past. What's interesting is in your energy after your ego death, right? We have awakening, and this is actually the world. And this came out in the upright. So the wheel is like, that's number 10 in the major arcana, and this is 20. So it's another full cycle. I just got my chills. Aries, you have like an upgrade. Like level up. I love this for you. Awakening world. New creativity. Like Aries, this is, and there was just tons of energy in Aries. We're still in Venus in Aries. We're about to go Mars in Aries, so it makes perfect sense that your current energy would feel like ramped up. Like, I just keep hearing level up. This is gorgeous. So, gorgeous card. This is the Page of Swords in this deck. That sounds good. I made homemade raspberry jam the other night, and my kids have never had a box pancake. I am crazy in the kitchen. Clarifying the Six of Cups, the soulmate card. We have this Page of Swords. Both of you are watching. If there's no connection, if there's no actual conversation here, or the conversation is being kept innocuous because I feel more like there's lack of conversation or lack of communication, or if the communication is very light and innocuous, I do believe that you're both watching each other. So they're watching you as much as you're watching them. You know, cyber stalking, not so great. But when you're so with someone, it's hard to think that everyone else does not see how great they are. Even if they don't feel great, you're like, well, of course, right? And then that little voice inside of us sometimes can think, well, like, there's a million other good choices for them. So sometimes it's nervousness. Sometimes it's like not feeling as confident as we should. And so that's why we watch. We want to see if somebody else is, you know, sniffing around. If you think that they're not watching, if you think that they've drawn back because they don't care, that's not it. Now, this is why I like clarifying. With this Three of Swords, we have the Sun upside down, clarifying the Three of Swords. Again, if you're not in communication with this person, they are going through it. They are feeling all their feelings, and it doesn't feel good. So right now, they need to take a little time to process, and they might be in a small functioning, but they might be in a small little depression. Let's clarify these. And then should we get a message from your person? After I clarify the last row, do you guys want to get like a message card from your person? I'm a quarter Swedish. CM. Right? Yeah. My dad was all Irish. My mom was half Swedish, half Irish. Of course, I haven't taken a 23andMe because I'm pretty sure that is going to be lit up. But supposedly, well, that's a beautiful name, Karen. So we now officially have, yeah. Wow. Okay. So we now officially have a couple. A royal couple in fire, no less. So the Queen of Wands came out to clarify that averted tower moment. Again, back in the creativity, back into feeling passionate. It really feels like this this felt like it was going to have, that you were going to have to walk away from it for a minute. I don't think that's going to be the case. I love how much authenticity is showing up in your energy. And it just keeps, like, the King of Wands probably came after the ego death. Like, I need to get my pep back in my step. I need to feel like myself again. And then it's like the same energy, but also there's like an open want to grow things, to like be fiery, be authentic, but really appreciate other people and advocate. That's a beautiful energy. Like, honestly, all of your stuff is showing up really lovely, Aries. In this, do we walk away? Do we not walk away? I think we're still having possibly like some innocuous conversation. There's so much emotion. There's so much connection between these two energies. And, you know, flip it. If this makes sense, like if you're a cross watcher, if this makes sense, like you'll know who's who. But everyone's still holding back a little bit next week. Or next month. Whatever this energy is for you. I just want you to know that if people are speaking in very clean, not over, like if anybody's holding back and it doesn't feel as like you're not speaking as emotionally as you feel because they're not speaking as emotionally as they really feel, it's both ways. Now, what's crazy here is that in the shared energy, it was maybe we don't have to walk away from this. And then in their energy, they're also not walking away. I think this feels like a roller coaster. I feel like they were stuck in something that it felt really hard to leave. I think there's a soulmate connection that's undeniable. I think that they have to go through the pain and possibly a little quiet of actually laying down the burden that they no longer have to carry. But I think in all of that, both of you, especially them, I feel like they struggled with what to do, what was the right thing to do, whatever. But I feel like I can't wait to see next week's reading, because I feel like that idea of maybe we have to walk away from each other is on hold. I think the connection is so strong. What do we say? Do we want to get messages from the person? Yeah, okay. I see Keto saying yes. I just call you Keto. Keto knows. I know her name. She's gotten a reading. Okay. And then we're going to do Leo next. I'm probably going to grab a piece of Swedish pie. And then I'm going to do Leo next, probably around 4:30, 4:35. And then we'll do Sag after that. And if you want to hang out for Sag, I might pull some cards for everyone. Yeah. So what was I saying the whole time? I've seen the future with you, and I want you by my side. Woo. I can't tell you, I keep getting chicken skin this whole reading because there's so much here. There's so much here. I'm Eastern time. Yeah, sorry. It is 4:22 Eastern time where I am right now. So let me put it, I should speak in terms, I forget that I'm like speaking to people in multiple time zones. I'm going to read an oracle card for you guys. And then I'm going to take a 5-minute break and come back. So it'll probably be around 10 minutes, 10, 11 minutes from now that I'll start Leo. All right, so we've been... these new cards are gorgeous, and they really are like the amalgamation of how I see inner child work and shadow work, and what I call like our dark passenger, but also how like when we heal things from our when we do inner child work and we heal, we almost grieve a little bit of letting go of that creature, that passenger that's been with us, because it's a part of us. It's a part of us. And the illustration's kind of exactly how I see it. It's like these people saw it in my brain. So if you stay awake, it's only 10 minutes. What time is it there? Oh, it's 10:30, isn't it? Jesus, you really are up in the middle of the night. I love you, Alan. Like, you're up in the middle of the night with me on a Friday night, aren't you? That's incredible. Actually, one time I did a live reading on my channel. Then I did 2 hours of live, maybe a little bit more on soul navigation. And then I did another half an hour live on my channel. And after that, I did another 2.5 hours after. And by the time Alan went to sleep and woke up, still I just was live for hours and hours on Friday. Okay. Actually, 2 cards popped out. Love forgives distance. So we're going to read that one. That came up in one of my other readings, but I can't remember what it is. But we do this whole like romper room thing where I hold the card and I read to you. Isn't that cute? There's a consistency to true companionship without contact, whether physical or words. For a time, some friendships and connections wither. Others remain as right as they were the last time you saw each other. Some friendships withstand distance, time apart, and even enforced separations. We set our course, and our paths may divert and part, but in time they will converge again, joining as seamlessly as two rivers flowing into one. Loves it. I love oracle cards because I love oracle cards because they always confirm the reading, because there's the cards and then there's what comes in that's like spurred by the cards, right? And what I was saying in the beginning is I feel a really divine connection, and I feel that this is somebody that you may have known or just makes you feel like that younger, more pure version of yourself. And there might be separation now because they have to do what they have to do so that they can honor this connection. And that's exactly what this speaks to. I'm so in love with these cards. So Aries, I hope this resonated. Please share my channel, because we bumped from 2 something to 3 something. But when I get to 500, I'm going to give away an hour reading, a private reading. And if you just want to go on the link for readings, just to read the reviews, I would highly recommend that you do that if you haven't had a reading with me. But I'm going to give away an hour reading. We do some really good work in the readings. And when I get to 1,000, I'm going to give away 90. I'm going to buy a report for you from Soul Navigation. I'll buy somebody a report. And also I might do be able to let you gift another 15 minutes. I don't know. I'm going to do something big, or I could give away a 90-minute and a Reiki session. So I'm going to, the Oracle of the Witches. That sounds interesting. I really am going to be doing big giveaways, and I will know who my OGs are. So, because that's who I want to honor. But as much as you could share, even if you just share and it doesn't go anywhere, if you just press the copy link, it's helpful, because I want to grow so I can help people. All right, I'll see you guys, let's say 10 minutes, and I'll be back, okay? I love you, know you love you.